Hi, my name is Glenda Brookens, and I wanted to share my testimony regarding our SOP prophetic deployment last Saturday, September the 13th, 2025. I decided to go to Burger King in my neighborhood. I went through the drive through. When I got there, I had the windows down. I said I was going to roll the window up, and the window got stuck, the passenger side. That's never happened before. The thought came, get out of the line, go to Toyota, get your window fixed. And I said, no, I'm not going to do that. Then the thought said, you're going to be embarrassed when you go to church tomorrow. You can't roll your window up because it's still stuck. I thought about that and I said, nah, let me go on and do this. So I'm still praying, God, give me a word. Finally placed my order, drove up, and it's a young lady. She said something to someone in the kitchen. She said it with authority, and I answered her, nothing bad, but with authority. I said, are you the supervisor or the manager? She says, I'm the manager. And then the Lord gave me a word for her. God sees you and what you're going through. And the despair just kind of raged out of her, saying that she had been at Burger King for 10 years. She was tired and ready to leave. And the frustration and the despair in her eyes. And I said, no, God's going to open a door for you. And she just didn't want to hear that. She was going on, whatever. And I said, look, and I told her my testimony of how when I was out of high school, graduated from high school, I actually worked for Burger King, started out as a cashier, then the head cashier, and then the supervisor. I told her, if God can do it for me, he can and will do it for you. Hold on, God sees you and see what you're going through. She went on and talked about some other things. I don't care if they fire me. I said, no, don't do that. You don't want to get fired. No, hold on. God's going to open a door. And when he does open the door for you, don't tell anybody, just be quiet. Be careful with who you're saying. I said, when I was coming from Chicago, Illinois, down to Jackson, Mississippi for school, I told them a little too early that I was leaving, and they pretty much said, well, then you can leave now. And I almost lost my job. So I prayed, and God told me a strategy on how to deal with that. And then when I did leave, I left in a different way, but I still left right, still very much as it should have been, and I left in love. And when I came back, I was able to go say hello to them. I told her, don't leave bad, don't go through all that. Hold on, work your money, take care of yourself, take care of what you need to do, so work your business. But don't leave until the Lord opens the door, and from there you'll know what to do. But until then, when the door opens, all right. She seemed encouraged. I knew she was receiving it, but still frustrated. I told her, I said, hey, as I drove off, I said, I love you. And she's like, I said, you hear me? I love you. Was all right? And then I drove up and I'm like, why am I driving away from the window? She can give me the food in the window. And I saw two people waiting. But anyway, I was also conscious just in case anybody was coming or she got an order or whatever. It was so interesting. I pulled up. God, why am I pulling up early? Well, they'll just come out and bring the food anyway. And as I was waiting, I turned around and noticed a car was coming up in a new order. It didn't come until I gave her the word that God had for her. And I'm sitting there waiting for my food, right? And then I just looked at the passenger window like, oh, God. And then the thought came, push the button to see if it'll go up. Push the button. Zzz, there it is. Nothing wrong with my window. Interesting. The thought came to drive away, get away. But when I fulfilled the word that God had for me, my window was fine. It's been fine ever since. Nothing's wrong with it. It's wonderful. When I got the food, I also said something to the young man that ran the food out to me. And God gave me a word for him, just a quick sentence, and that's it. And he's like, huh? And I said it again. He said, okay. And I drove away excited. Just wanted to share that with you. God bless you.